What's going on, brothers and sisters? Welcome to ZTV 1990. And this video has been brought to my attention as I was scrolling down in the morning because I watch Pastor Jason while I'm at work. And and this is for some reason I don't know what this video came up, but there's a guy named iThinkBibilcally. Okay, that he wants to respond to my pastor, which he didn't basically watch the entire live stream. He pick and choose what he want to talk about, but I'm going to basically respond to him, and especially what's been going on over the last 2 years, because he did this 2 years ago. But I'm here to let this man know and everybody that have commented on this video that Pastor Jason has been doing the actual work of God. This man has been putting in real work over the last 2 years alone. Now, I've been attending Freedom since 2020. I'm a 1728 leader and proud of it. Okay? And since I've been attending this church, I have been blessed. God has blessed me to make more money than I've ever made in my lifetime. I finally have a career since I decided to take care of God's house since being on the Pastor Jason. Okay? And I'll show you that now I'm telling everybody that I've received more love here than I have at a black church. Because I was previously under Bishop Ron C. Hill. But I'm not under him. I received more love from Pastor Jason than I would at Compton, the previous church I was at. But brother, I'm here to let you know that since you did this video, Pastor Jason has been putting in work, including Pastor Apple's which you also have responded on here. But everybody, I'm gonna let this video play, and then I'm gonna chime in and give my 2 cents.
G'day folks, welcome to the channel that exposes false teachers as well as church grifters, hucksters and charlatans. In this video, I want to play you a clip by a guy called Pastor Jason Lozano, who's closely associated with a group called Planet Shakers. And in this clip, this pastor just goes off at his congregation about the subject of giving and tithing and offerings and so forth. And he goes so far as to say...
First of all, let me just correct him right now. And I'm going to read a scripture from Proverbs chapter 3 to verse 9 through 11. It says, "Honor the Lord with your wealth, with your first fruits of all your crops, when your barns will be filled to overflowing, and your vats will brim over the new wine. My son, do not despise the Lord's discipline, and do not resent his rebuke." Okay? So this man only picked and choose parts. He don't play the whole service. He don't watch the whole thing. I think biblically, this guy here, man, only pick and choose the parts he wants to talk about. Okay, we're gonna respond to the whole thing, but Pastor Jason was telling people to honor your wealth. When you get a lot of money, you get blessed with wealth. You owe God. All money belongs to the Lord at the end of the day. This ain't got nothing to do with what this guy's actually trying to talk about. But let's let him finish.
That if you don't give, if you've got a problem with giving, if you feel uncomfortable when we talk about giving, then you have an evil spirit. You have a demon inside of you, and you need to be delivered.
He's talking about people that are selfish with their money, sir. That's what he's talking about. Because there are people out there, no matter if you're an athlete, you're an entrepreneur, you're somebody that's an entertainer like a Denzel Washington or a Ben Stiller, one of them, Angelina Jolie. Even if you're a newscaster, whatever career or path you're doing, he's talking about the ones who don't honor God. They feel they don't need God no more after God done blessed them to get to where they are. But let's continue.
Pretty crazy, really wicked, heretical stuff. This guy, Jason Lozano, is closely associated with another guy called At Boshoff, who I've done a video on before. And At Boshoff's net worth is 28 million.
All right, now this man is pocket watching. He's pocket watching. Let me show you what At Boshoff has been doing, especially over the last 2 years, which this man does not cover on his channel. Now, in Africa, there's been a war going on, especially, and it's been worse since the Ayatollah caused Hamas to attack Israel. Okay? At Boshoff has been using his resources, that money, like that 20 million, to help refugees in Africa. This man that's talking right now ain't nowhere in Africa. I guarantee you not in Africa. Boko Haram is part of the Muslim Brotherhood. They work with the RGC, the ones that Donald Trump bombed recently. He had no choice. Let me read to you just the casualties of what's been going on here. Well, while a single consolidated official death toll for Boko Haram's activities in 2025 is not available, human rights groups and conflict monitors report that the group claimed hundreds of civilian lives during a major resurgence in northern Nigeria in Lake Chad Basin. Major incidents and verified statistics from 2025. So first quarter casualties, they killed over 500 people during the first 3 months of the year alone. State Radio told National Human Rights Commission recorded at least 2,266 total fatalities. And here's the contextual context. In the border of Lake Chad and Basin, which Boko Haram and related factions, militant Islamists, so this is Islam, violence contributes significantly to 22,307 fatalities linked to extremist groups in Africa. So these are people that's been going after Christians, children of God like me and you, like myself that's watching this video. At least 40 civilians were executed in farming communities in Borno State. Fighters massacred over roughly 100 residents across villages of Malam Karampati and Kwadadeshi. I can't even pronounce that correctly. In Borno State. As of September 2025, an overnight attack on the resetted village of Doron Jamal in Borno State left at least 60 people dead. Again, there is a war going on in Africa. Islam versus Christians. They've been taking down churches, kidnapping little girls, and selling them off to grown men in sex trafficking rings. These are real stuff that's been going on right now, that Appalachia have been trying to use his resources, use his ministry to not only save souls, but help refugees, African refugees. This man wouldn't be able to tell you that while you pocket watching.
Dollars. Pretty crazy for a pastor. He's gotten all of this money from, just from the ministry. So somehow he's managed to, siphon out $28 million from his congregation. And Jason Lozano really wants to be like this guy. And you can tell when he's preaching.
First of all, Pastor Jason never wanted to be like Appalachia. No, they two completely different people. Pastor Russell Evans is his leader, right? But they all got their own ministries. Pastor Jason is building his own legacy right now. Pastor Jason is doing what the Lord told him to do, sir. And I'm going to show you that in a few minutes. Okay, because you don't want to be like him. You don't know what Pastor Jason has been doing. I'm about to show you.
He wants to be like Boshoff because he's kind of a bit angry and so forth. But he's also associated with a group called Planet Shakers, which takes in millions and millions and millions of dollars through many different charities. It's kind of all broken up a bit. But, Jason Lozano's church, he doesn't publish its financials. We have no idea how much.
Okay, so, bro, that's none of your business how much we be making. That's for the church business. Though, for those who attend Freedom City Church, Pastor Jason is very transparent on the money he raised. Okay, very transparent. Only the leaders and members of Freedom know how much money we have collected. That's not for this guy to be knowing. Now, let me tell you what Pastor Jason has been doing with the money. Okay, for one, Freedom City Academy. The man has turned his school, turned the buildings he bought in Whittier, that he's been at the last 4 or 5 years, into Freedom City Academy. You got people like these kids that have graduated from there. Okay? I'm letting y'all know that now. This man has an actual grade school. Okay? That he's turned his church buildings into these graduation centers. A full classroom. Okay, so this is not a lie. Those are actual students that attend this man's school. And that's what he's done with his money. That's one of the projects he's done with the money. Okay, let's look at something else. Okay, because this is what this guy, I'm telling you this now because I'm not playing. This man has no idea what he's talking about. He's doing this to get attention. He's mad that his church can't make this kind of money. But I guarantee you, this guy here is not doing the work that Pastor Jason is doing. But let's continue, right? And I'm going to get to that in a minute because he just bought another church. The man has 3 buildings, but let's get to this.
This morning in the city of Whittier.
That's where Freedom City Church is giving away more than 5,000 toys as part of its annual Christmas at Freedom event. KTLA's Jasmine Simpkins joins us live there this morning. Jasmine, you had a really good group stretching. That was an impressive turnout. We've seen you sled, and we have seen Santa. And now, are these some of the kids that are getting the toys?
Yes, these are some of the kids that are getting the toys. Are you guys excited? I think they're going to be really excited when they start handing out the toys. But the toy giveaway is getting ready to start right here at Freedom City Church in Whittier. Guys, they're giving away 5,000 toys, and this is just a fraction of the kids.
See, sir, look at all these kids who are less fortunate, that's growing up in the hood, which you know nothing about. All these black and brown children, black and Mexican, Hispanic, Asian. That's what Pastor Jason's doing with his money, that the Lord has blessed him. And he got his own money. Our pastor got his own business. He make money outside the church. He even said it. He don't need the church money for that. So, bro, like, I don't know what you talking about.
There are going to be lots more coming through to get toys. Christmas Eve, what a great way to give. And this is something that they do all year round. Pastor Tomo, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How you doing?
All right. These kids are about to get some amazing toys. 5,000 toys. That's pretty impressive.
That's right. I mean, they're excited. Families have been lining up. So many families are coming. We're going to give out 5,000 toys. You know, we've been able to do this every year, and we're grateful to bless the community.
And the theme for the toy giveaway, because you guys do this all the time.
That's right. Well, this year is Christmas Toy Wonderland. And as you see, we have a lot of characters. We have a whole snow play experience, pictures with Santa. So much happening for the kiddos.
Food, pizza, snow outside. Yes, so much stuff for them to do. And then obviously toys. Let's give away some toys.
That's right. You guys, let's give out some toys. You guys ready for free toys? Come on!
Look at that. Come on
So
now. How
if
can you hate
anyone
on
wants
that?
to come down and be a part of the free event, I love this. This is a free event.
That's right.
Where can they come?
That's right. Freedom City Church in the city of Uptown Whittier. We're here all day long. Come on out. Make sure you just come out. Bring your family. It's totally free.
I love this. And if anyone missed the event, you guys obviously do all kinds of stuff for the community all year round, not just for the holidays.
Yeah, not just for the holidays. We're here involved with the city. We have a lot of events for youth and also the kiddos and also for the entire family.
Yeah, I love that. Look.
See, sir, we're doing real work here. This is the work of the Lord. This is what you're supposed to do with the money. But there are people that get a lot of this money. There are CEOs who do this and they not giving back like this. They not. Now let's look at something else he's done. You see this building right here? This is the old Calvary Chapel building. Our pastor, our church, the 12, the 144, and the 1720, all members of this church has just bought this building. This is in Long Beach, my city, my hometown that I've been raised in. My whole life that I grew up in. This Calvary Chapel is building 3. Freedom City Church now has 3 buildings. And he's going to use this church to save souls in. Just like our Uptown West campus, which is building 2, and our main campus, building 1. So he got 2 buildings in Whittier. Building 3 is now in Long Beach, sir. So we moving borders. Okay? Pastor Jason is serious about soul winning. This is why the Lord continues to upgrade him. Until to bless him to one up on the Satan. We one up on that devil. We're leveling up on the devil. That's what we're doing here, sir. He bought this entire building. Is in a process of now rechanging this will no longer be Calvary Chapel no more. It'll be Freedom City of Long Beach. So while you talking about Pastor Jason, since you did this 2 years ago, I'm letting everybody know with receipts what's been going on. That's why you got to watch what you say about other men of God. Because people like me go back it up with receipts. This is the 3rd building. And by the way, he's built at least 4 group homes for men and women. His training center for the 18th through 26th. He got multiple training center houses. He got at least 6 training center houses that he's built. He got group homes, convalescent homes for men and women to be rehabilitated like he did. See, Pastor Jason got saved through a rehabilitation home. A salute to Pastor Mario Villa. That's another man of God you don't know nothing about. Help Pastor Jason when he got saved. This is how Pastor Jason gives back to the community, sir. Long Beach is my hometown. It needs help. A lot of help. And Pastor Jason is providing that help. There are people that are broken. Right? But let's continue. That's not all. This is his college. This is his university. He used the same buildings at Uptown West for his university, which I graduated from. He gives people a chance to get actual AA degrees, sir. These are online courses. He also has School of FISA, School of Business, that also gives people a chance to get a degree in business if you got a biz idea. And as you see, you got marriage groups. Family groups are just men and women's groups, or marriage groups to keep marriages together, because he don't want nobody being divorced and having problems in their marriage. So not only does he have Freedom Academy, but he got FISA, School of Ministry. He even got a Spanish ministry. Okay, bro, brother, these are things that we're actually doing here. We're doing real work. I'm gonna let you see our website, but you didn't go to none of this. Why are you sitting here talking about him? This is what's been going on over the last 2 years of that recording. That whole sanctuary we remodeled. Look at our men's conference that's coming up. Young adults rally. That's coming up this week. But we got our men's conference. Everybody can scan that QR code, man. For all men that are in California, in the LA area, come to our men's conference. We just got done having our women's conference. So yeah, we got stuff going on here. We doing the work, brother. Pastor Jason's putting in real work, sir. Why you made this video? Knowing nothing about him. You didn't come out here. You clearly don't live in the States. I know for a fact you don't live in the States, because you was the came to freedom. You actually talked to our leaders. And you talked to one of the, like Pastor Miguel, Pastor Dwayne, Pastor Phil, Pastor Tamar, Pastor Liz, any one of the 12, they would tell you what we do. But you go on these videos and you get your views, right? And you want to talk trash. But that's okay, right? That's fine. But I just showed you receipts. I'm showing everybody that's ever watched this video the receipts of what's been going on over the last 2 years. But let's continue.
Much money they take in, no idea where the money's spent, no idea how much the pastor gets paid or his family members or anything like that. But he does seem to live a pretty lavish life.
And by the way, Pastor Jason pays his ministry. He pays the members who work for him. They have people that have the chance to intern and work for the church full time. He pays them. The people, he has actual staff. He has a team. A finance team, sir. Yeah, we have an actual finance team. So everybody in that church is well paid. The members are taken care of. They got jobs. We got careers. We pay our tithes faithfully, sir. That's why he's blessed. And that's none of your business how much money his family getting anyway. See, people, this is what you call Satan. This is the devil here. To try to steer people away from the church. Keep people from staying planted. The devil uses people like him. He's mad that he ain't making that kind of money. Because I guarantee you, if he was making this kind of money, he would have never done this video. He don't know a thing about Freedom City Church. We're all about saving souls and making disciples. We're molding the next generation. We're saving as many people as possible for God's return. That's what we're doing, sir. But no, that's none of your business what we be doing here, bro. Why don't you come on out here, come to the States, for whichever country you're in, come to Freedom City Church, either a 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. service, and find out for yourself. But don't just talk trash on here. And don't talk about Appalshop either. Again, Appalshop is doing real work, sir. He's in Africa where there's a war zone, which you don't know anything about. Because notice, and I'm going to let everybody know, if you go on this man's channel, not one video on Islam. Not one. And Islam is basically taking over. You see, Hamas, before I continue, Hamas bombing Israel, that ain't the only that October 7th attack, that was just the beginning of it. They're in London, Australia. They out there in Great Britain. They in Mexico. They're everywhere. Including in states trying to take over and force the Quran on everybody. And anybody that doesn't, anybody that doesn't cooperate and don't want to go along with it is a target. But people like this guy here ain't focused on it at all. No, he's not. He don't care. And this was 2 years ago. So that October 7th attack happened. We was already in war then. From 2024, 2023, going into now. This is real out here. We're in the last days. And God warns us about people like him in the Bible.
Lifestyle, and is mixing with people that are also very, very wealthy in the kind of ministry scene. We don't know what his net worth is, but I can bet you he's trying to be like at Boshoff. I'm going to play this clip, and as we go along, I just want to comment on some of the things that he says and just point out the obvious mistakes that he's making when he tries to read and apply and interpret the Word of God. Let's get right into it. Here's this clip from this really quite crazy preacher, Jason Lozano.
That's why people have a problem with offerings like this. They have a problem with offerings. It's silly to me. It's so silly to me.
And I know as you looking at our heart for the house, again, brother, this is our annual giving. I've tied thousands of dollars into this church. Thousands. And I'm not looking to get that money back because that's the Lord's money. All money belongs to God at the end of the day, sir. But you don't watch the whole thing. You just picking and choosing. No, this is about you honoring God with your money. He said, show me where you would tell a lot about a man's heart where their money is going. So when we get these paychecks, what is the first thing you do with it? Now that's the question. You know, that's what he's talking about. How much do you really love the Lord?
It's really terrible, actually. Like, nobody complains about the company that's making $100 million down the street.
Now, of course, we're not going to complain about a business down the road that's making millions of dollars, right? That's what businesses do.
But yet you complain about our church, sir. That's also a business outside of the church. Every church is a business, sir. Yeah, we worship God, we praise God, but we're also doing business in there because we got companies, sir. We sell clothes. We got our own merchandise, by the way. Freedom City has its own clothing line, right? We're buying buildings. That's business. We got our own finance team. We got a school, sir. That's a business. Every church has a business. But we're honoring God with our money. We're still saving souls at the end of the day. That's what it's really all about. But brother, my question is, how many souls have you been saving, right? While you talk about Pastor Jason, how many people have you led to the Lord? Because you see this down here, right? Your title says Church Adelaide, or wherever you call it, right? But how many people have you led to the Lord in the last year alone? How many people have you been talking to about God in 2026, sir? Are you having Bible study in your home? Are you letting people, even strangers, inside your home like we do? Me and my family, my aunties and my cousins, we've used the house Granny left us, and we've been doing ministry inside that house. We've been praying for people. We've been doing salvations in that house, just like Pastor Jason has instructed us to do. See, I want people to notice these videos. People like him use God's name in vain to talk about other children of God who don't understand because he's jealous. This video comes down to jealousy and envy of Pastor Jason because he's not making that kind of money.
Businesses are in it for the money. But nobody should ever look at the church like a business, right? I mean, that's not something that we should do as Christians, right?
By the way, Pastor Jason never said his church was a business, his services are a business like that. Never once. This is what's coming out of his mouth. This man right here, he said it, not Pastor Jason. He ain't never said that. I remember one service, Pastor Jason said, if you think it's about the money, you in the wrong church. No, he ain't never said he ain't never said his church is about business. But we're doing the Lord's business. That's what business is, doing God's business. This is the Lord's business. That's what we're doing, sir. Even our heart for the city, where we're feeding homeless people, sir, every Sunday morning before church, before 10 a.m. service, there are lines of people that are homeless, and we're feeding them with our money. Our heart for the city, where we're actually cleaning up the city around us in Whittier, bro. That's what we're doing with the money. We take that money for supplies, and not only we spend the money on food supplies, but we spend money on cleaning supplies to clean the city around us, because that's how much we care.
We don't peddle the word of God, the Apostle Paul said. Remember Jesus, he drove out the money changers and those selling animals, and he said, look, stop making my Father's house into a marketplace. This is supposed to be a house of prayer, but you've turned it into a den of thieves. And really, when we look at the church world and we see these filthy rich pastors everywhere that have gotten rich through the ministry, we can see that the church world really has become a den of thieves. That is what it's become, and it's really quite sad. And of course, as Christians, we ought to be concerned when pastors are always preaching about money and when they're living it up. When these pastors are living it up and preaching about giving more.
He's allowed to live it up because the Lord has allowed him to live it up. The Lord has rewarded him, sir. When you're doing God's house, you get rewarded. Like I've been rewarded. I'm making enough money to where I can get me a passport and go anywhere in the world and travel. I'm making enough money to where I can see my parents in Mississippi, in Clinton, Mississippi, every year so I choose to. Right? I got that kind of money, sir. I'm blessed. And when I came to Freedom City Church, I was flat broke. This is my testimony. I used to be broke, struggling on jobs, making less than 20 an hour, making 17, 16 an hour bi-weekly. But then God blessed me because I was faithful. I was loyal every year. Loyal, take care of his house, helping with construction. To Lord bless me to work in the medical field, making 25 an hour plus bonus, full 401k. So I know God is real, sir. And Pastor Jason Lozano used to be a real drug dealer in the city of Whittier. He used to be the problem. But God rehabilitated him. God gave him a second chance. See, you sit here and you talk about these pastors. You're not praying for neither pastor you're talking about, sir. You don't know what these people are doing behind closed doors. But you want to run your mouth. So I'm letting everybody know what this man's saying is a complete lie. Because you see the receipts. You see the receipts. Okay? You see the receipts. Look at our notes. Our sermon notes. We do everything electronically now. You can look at the tail, man. We ain't out here juking and jiving. We ain't juking and jiving, man. We ain't faking the funk. Look at our marriage groups. Look at the stuff we're doing. Oh, and by the way, a lot of young folks that got married over the last 2 years alone, including Pastor Jason's nieces. There's all kinds of men and women that have gotten married. There's been multiple weddings over the last 3 years alone. Since you want to talk about us so badly, well, we finna show you, sir. Again, this is how you shut people like him up. This is how you respond to this nonsense. Look, after growing up in a broken home, abandoned by his biological father, I was abandoned by my father at one point in time. And abused by a stepfather. I had a stepfather that was abusive. So I can relate to Pastor Jason, sir. Never imagined that one day he would be completely restored and healed from the wounds of his childhood and multiple drug addictions. However, that all changed in the early 1990s when he attended a Christian concert. While high on drugs, miraculously, Jason immediately sobered up in the presence of God and overtook him. And he ran forward towards that stage and received Jesus Christ as his heart without hesitation. Okay? A few years later, Jason responded to the call of the light when he heard God's voice speak to him. Reach out to him to the broken and the lost, and he began evangelizing and leading young men and women in groups throughout Los Angeles area. Since that time, his life has never been the same, and each reach of his ministry has only grown. Freedom City Church, born in a small studio uptown Whittier, California, he has quickly expanded to the presence of the facility of Pastor Jason Lozano and his beautiful wife, Elizabeth. Okay? So y'all can read this for yourself, man. I ain't gotta lie. This man got a book. You can read it. Look at that. God has moved at Freedom City Church in amazing ways. Currently, there are 524 small groups that meet from house to house, with approximately 3,965 people attending weekly. That's how many souls we've been saving. The type of number of souls we save every year. Freedom City Church are a total of 1,100 students in our discipleship-focused Lifestyle of Freedom Bible College program. The membership consists of over 5,000 strong, and outreach remains a focus of the church, which we do this every year. In 2021 alone, there were 5,389 first-time visitors, 6,578 commitments to the salvation, over 957 baptisms, and that was just in 2021. That's not counting this year alone. So, sir, what is you talking about? Again, people, this is how you shut this down. You shut it down with receipts. That's why Pastor Jason can do what he want to do, because God rewards him for taking care of his people. The Bible says, take care of my flock. Pastor Jason got time to be talking about other pastors like you're doing, sir.
More, we ought to be concerned.
Nobody's complaining about that. But when the church starts talking about offering and the church talks about money to build the church so people's lives can be changed, so marriages can be healed, so people can be delivered of demons, so people can get their mind back, people have a problem. That's an evil spirit. That's a wicked spirit.
So he's talking about the people that's selfish. He talking about the people that only come to church just to get the word, but they don't want to give back. Now you got to honor God with your money too. And that's one thing I make sure I do, man. My heart for the house, my offers, I try to give God my 10% every time. Even when I can't give my full 10%, I try to give God something. I contribute in some kind of way, brother. I know what Pastor Jason and the leaders have done for me. That's why I can defend this man. And people, watch what you say about other children of God too. Because I guarantee you, the man who make this video is not praying for nobody. He's not. He's doing this to get views and attention. Matter of fact, look at the comment section. Look at this, man. Like, everybody's not the same. You can't put every pastor in the same category. There are pastors out here that really do care about souls. They care about the lost. Oh yeah, even our Night of Terror event, which is our haunted house, is based on soul winning, which I've been a part of. And they let me be on the production team, which I helped start it because of my background in the industry. But I use my talents for the soul winning. When I play my character, when I go on stage after the mazes is over, and people got done with the mazes, I give people a show to save them. Because that's what Pastor Jason envisioned. What Pastor Jason envisions, he tells us. And we help make that vision come true. At the end of the day, this man cares for souls. He has a heart for souls. To help them get saved. So they can see God and know who God is. So that's what he's talking about in this entire, this particular episode, this live stream. I'm going to give you another example, right? And out of respect for this young man's older brother, I'm not going to say his name, but there's a young man who was doing Prime America when he started Freedom. Now, him and his wife and his crew, they had about like 7 of them, 8 or 9 of them at that church, right? Him and his crew. They were doing good first, but then once they started making $1 million in Prime America, and you had one of his female team members, she bought a brand new Benz S-Class, bragging about it on Instagram, on social media, right? When him and his people started doing good, he bought a brand new 2-story house, mini mansion and all this. They doing good and all this. He stopped coming to church. That man and his crew felt they didn't need freedom no more. They didn't need God no more because they're doing good. They rolled off. There are also people Pastor Jason is exposing in this episode, this live stream. See, you come to find out people only want God when they're down. But how many people is praising God while they on the up? Huh? How many people is giving God the glory while they move up that ladder? Sir, why are you talking about him in this video you did 2 years ago? Because I'm showing everybody receipts. Y'all have seen firsthand the work that Pastor Jason and people at this ministry has been doing for Freedom City Church. Well, I think biblically doesn't know at all. Won't do no research. I bet he didn't do no homework. He didn't go on the website at all. He didn't review nobody. He didn't go to no live stream. He ain't looking at the testimonies. We got many testimonies of people have testified how the Lord has blessed them since being on the Pastor Jason's ministry. He won't look at no testimonies that has went forth over the last 2 years alone. He don't care. The man just want to expose everybody, and you can't do that because every pastor don't have the same intentions. They don't.
You're not hearing me. You're not. That's a demonic spirit. That's a Judas spirit. You don't need millions of dollars to do all that, right? I mean, think about.
But bro, it takes money to run a church. Don't you know that? It takes money to run ministry, huh? How are you supposed to keep the bills on, huh? How are you supposed to keep everything running? How are you supposed to pay your employees? God gave Pastor Jason a vision of 10 buildings in 10 years. And he's fulfilling that now. It takes money to build these buildings, sir. To get people saved in all these cities across Los Angeles. Where we live at, sir. You don't know a thing about LA. Pastor Jason sent him and his team and his ministry in the hood. Matter of fact, we all know about Umar Johnson. Pastor Jason ain't scamming people like Umar Johnson been scamming the black community, sir. Okay? While you sit there and run your mouth. Pastor Jason has, like I showed you, has built an actual school where kids have been educated. It takes money to do that, sir. It takes millions and millions of dollars to run these buildings. You would know that, sir, if you had a church of your own, which you probably don't have no intention of doing. See, I guarantee you, sir, if you was making the money he was making, you wouldn't have time to talk about him. Again, I'm letting everybody know right now, the blessing that Pastor Jason got, you can get that too. But you can't be thinking like that. The devil using this man to spread confusion. That's all he's doing. Because him, Appleshop, and Pastor Russell Evans are anointed. They lay actual hands on people. So before I end this video, y'all seen it for yourself. I ain't got to sit here and lie. This man, Appleshop, Pastor Jason, and Pastor Russell Evans of Planet Shakers are doing real work. Pastor Jason travels all over the world preaching. There are lives that are at stake. People are going to hell every day. So, sir, I got to ask you, I think biblically, how many souls are you saving? Matter of fact, let's look at your whole channel before I end this video. Because, again, bro, like, what work are you doing for the Lord? And you're in Australia. See, that's why you hate Pastor Russell Evans, because you probably got rebuked. It's obvious you got beef with Pastor Russell Evans. See, brother, you in Australia. You're not out here in California like I am. Like Pastor Jason had to grow up in. You don't know what it's like living in the hood. You don't know where this man came from, but you're just talking. Look at this man's whole videos. Just talking about other people. This man's not actually doing no real ministry at all. I got videos on my channel actually giving substance. I don't just react to different people. No, I don't just expose different people. I'm actually out there preaching the word on my channel. I got videos telling people the truth. Even on my TikTok live streams. This man bases his whole ministry off other people. Going at other people. But brother, where's your own videos of you having a Bible study on here? You got something to say about everybody. But bro, what about you? Again, Pastor Appleshaw puts Jesus first. I know that man got the anointing. I've been to that man's service already. And Pastor Jason's not Geno Jennings. He's not Jason Lozone. He's not none of them people. So I don't know. You can't be doing that. Everybody's not the same. Let's see you talk about your own pastor. Or are you even going to church? You probably don't. You got something to say about everybody else. But let's look at you, bruh. You're mad that you ain't getting this kind of money. That's what this is really about. Caleb. How much, again, Caleb, how much work are you actually doing outside of this YouTube channel? Huh? Again, Caleb, are you actually out there helping people? Are you out there evangelizing people? Are you passing out tracts? Are you leading people to salvation? That's why I got to ask you. Because me, I can attest, I can testify for Pastor Jason. He's doing the work. Everything this man doing is legit. As you can see. This man does actual real work. So, leave this man alone, sir. Leave him and his wife alone. Leave him alone, bro. Okay? I'm letting everybody know that since he did that recording, Pastor Jason now has 3 church buildings. And it costs a lot of money to run those buildings. To get 10 buildings, you need millions of dollars. But at the end of the day, inside those church buildings, people are getting saved. We just had an old man who I helped, who just had a heart attack recently, that got baptized just this past Sunday. And that man looked like he in his 70s, 60s, and like 60-something years old. Got baptized after surviving a heart attack. We got people like that come in. He came in there with a wheelchair. We got people like that come to the church and get help. So, I'm done, bro. But again, when it comes to channels like these, you got to be careful with these type of people. This man is coming from a place of envy. He's doing this to get views. He's eating off views. He's using these views to talk